It's so weird because ever since I posted those drawings once again of the two prisoners, and even the situation with my cat who was stolen, I'm talking literally kidnapped, which is a serious offense. Suddenly it's radio silence, or just about. I do, however, want to once again say thank you to Helena and thank you to Christopher for your kind and generous donations. I don't know what you believe, but at this point I do know that we do have angels and guides. If you're somebody that has researched out-of-body experiences and near-death experiences, then, especially if you have some of your own, then you know that you're looked out for. Doesn't mean everything will be perfect. It's certainly not going to be that way. And also, we're in a really bad place. But the reason, I'm going to say I think we're here with everything that I know. What I was both told and shown over and over again is this is a prison that's sort of like a purgatory. And many religions talk about this, including Christianity, even if it is only indirectly. And in some regard, this determines where you go. Personally, I don't believe we're all from the same place. I think we're all from very different places. But this will determine a lot about who not only goes where, but who is allowed into where. The ones who look out for me, and I'm allowed to have spiritual beliefs just like anyone else. They're not beliefs anymore, they're knowings. I know certain things that, as far as I've seen, a lot of other people don't know. And then there's others who know more than I do. Or at least it appears that way. When I had people in my life that were talking about me behind my back, not being good friends, not really being truly honest, authentic, and genuine, I was told about it. I also know now at this point that all is being seen. Not only is everything recorded, but everything is watched, it is understood, and it is seen exactly as it is, meaning there's no curve, there's no grading on a curve or anything like that. There's no grade at all as far as I know. But it's sort of an analogy. There's no skewing the truth. It simply is what it is, and people are what they are. And I personally think to this day, from everything that I've witnessed, which has been, at least as far as the people I've talked to, a lot more than most people. But I guess we'll see. I think this is going to determine a lot about who does what, who goes where, who is allowed into what place. And something pointed out to me, it said, did you not realize how strange it is that once you started making your focus justice for those two prisoners, suddenly it's like crickets. You know, it reminds me of almost every other video I did on truth, when it was really down to the nitty gritty, and it wasn't just, oh, it's the NPCs this and the NPCs that, and oh, the government's doing this to us, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Once it got down to the heart and who people actually are, and that being the main focus, morality, true freedom, and the fact that so few are so, or rather so many are so unwilling to fight for it. If you look back through history, you realize the price that was paid in blood over and over again. for even just a modicum of freedom. Freedom, not free will. Freedom. And many who fought for it were buried, not only physically, but they were also squashed down. They weren't allowed to be heroes, even though they absolutely were and are heroes. But I'll tell you where they go. They go into the real halls of Valhalla. There's nothing that's ever been put in fantasy that isn't from something real. And I'm using that word loosely. It's Valhalla, Asgard, heaven, whatever you want to call it. You're going to a very good place where mighty warriors who fought for truth and freedom are allowed. And only allowed. We'll just call that opinion for now, though. All right, let's leave it at that. I don't want to talk so much about that. It was what was pointed out to me about the drawings, and also when I needed help after my cat was kidnapped from me. And I've had others disagree with this, but it's very much like having a child. And I'll tell you what, the other day, it was a few days ago, I was strongly, like I could commit suicide and leave this awful place anytime I choose. I have chosen to stay, and it is out of the kindness of my heart to help other people along. I am a true hero for all that I've done and for the great work that I continuously did throughout my life. But that doesn't really matter to me. That's something that I know. You could say it's between me and God, or me and the Creator. We all have guides who look out for us. It doesn't matter that it's a really bad place. This place could be a whole heck of a lot worse without you supposing that you're trying to continuously do the right thing. And that's about all we have in this place, is people who continuously do the right thing, even at the expense of themselves, even though they're ridiculed for it, even though their lives don't go so well when they do the right things. And you'll know how good of a person you are by how much your life is in the shitter. I'm not talking about things that you self-inflicted. There's obviously very selfish people that don't give a crap about anybody. But this place and its demons, I'll say, will try to destroy you completely. And we don't have to put up with that. I could have left, and it was actually the kindness of not a stranger, a cashier that I've talked to before, and I hate to call them that, but they work at a store. And they asked me what was going on, but there's somebody that when they ask you what's going on, they genuinely ask you. And so I told them the situation with my cat being kidnapped and stolen, and me being denied my basic human rights to see my cat, who I took very, very, very great care of on a continual basis. I know that one way or another I'll be with her again. I know that as a fact. I could leave today and everything would be all right. But I choose to stay because there's people that need help. And continuously through text message and calls, it's always asking things from me, even when I hardly have nothing. Even homeless. Even working every day to get things set right. Using not all of my money, but a lot of my money to print out copies upon copies of copies to distribute these papers. Getting a whole lot of exercise in doing it. Meanwhile, a lot of people, they can't be bothered to even leave their computer. They can't be bothered to lift a finger. And so, I'll say my angels, the ones that watch over me, and some of them are ancestors. Some of them are people I knew in this life that truly displayed again and again and again that they cared a lot about others, more so than themselves. They point this stuff out. They say, isn't that interesting? And things like that. Isn't that, don't you find that a bit odd how all these people were gobbling up your videos when it was the government, the NPCs, the Matrix, this, that. And then you needed help, and suddenly it's like everyone cleared out. They got presented with a drawing that was of a gruesome sight that is so unbelievably cruel. Cruelty that most people can't even fathom is even real. And it was just crickets. The total people that have helped, and this is only financially so far, no one has come here physically to prove who they are, to actually give me a hand in the great work. A lot of people over the years, they wanted to meet me when I had plenty of money. I had hit it big in crypto for a while. Oh, you bet I was getting many phone calls then. And you know what I did? I started giving all my money away because it meant nothing to me hardly, other than to get by. What I saw was other human beings in need of help. And I just literally started just, here you go, here you go, here you go. Was I right? Was I wrong? I don't know. It made a difference for that one. In the words of Chiron last. I like to say that a lot. You know what? Yeah, I might not have made that big of an impact, but it made a difference for that one. I wish somebody would come here and make a difference for me. But I know that's not going to happen, most likely. And what was also pointed out very clearly to me is, like, when people call you brother, which happens a lot, or they say I love you, or they call you their friend, what was pointed out oh so clearly was, do you not realize that that person is a liar? Because if they really meant those words, they would be here with you now in your darkest hour. Or one of your darkest hours, at least. They would be doing whatever it took. Imagine if that was their child. I would be there in a heartbeat if I had the means. Hell, even if I didn't have the means, I'd find a way. It's pointed out to me that they always have money for their booze, for cigarettes. And if you think heaven doesn't see that, if you think, I'll say the other side doesn't see that, you're very mistaken. Oh no, that doesn't mean you're going to hell. It just means you aren't going to be with the people that you claim to love. We're going to be not taken, but we're going to a very, very good place where this stuff doesn't happen. And many people are not ready for that. And it's because of who they are and the decisions that they make. It isn't because you didn't accept Jesus. It isn't because you didn't follow the Buddha. It's because of who you are and the daily, regular decisions that you continue to make. If somebody asks you not to do something and you continuously violate their consent, even if it's the littlest thing, and you say, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. And they have said, please don't do this. Please don't text me. Don't call me at these times. I have this going on. Please don't do that. And they continue to ignore your words and do it anyway. They don't care about you, even if they say they do. That's a violation of consent. And when it's in the little things, why would it make a difference if it was something major? Take the Bible, for instance. It says, if you are faithful in the little things, the smallest of things, he, meaning God, or the truth, or the creator, whatever you want to chalk it up to, source, I don't really care what word you use. That stuff doesn't matter to me. We're all talking about the same thing. It's true, eternal, everlasting, and unconditional love. But it's real. And if you are faithful in the smallest of things, then he will make you in charge of many things, bigger things, much more important things. But even the littlest of things can be important. And I butchered that a little bit, I'll be honest about that. That's not the exact verse, but that's exactly what it means. Can you be faithful in the little things when you think it doesn't matter? When there's no reward on the line, will you do what's right anyway? When you see the sight of others going through something that you can't even imagine, and you're sitting at your computer and you have plenty of food, others are homeless, screaming in pain, screaming out for help, calling out for just one friend, and you sit in the air-conditioned house that's paid for by the government or somebody else, and you claim that that's the great work. It isn't. And there's many people who do it. Everyone had an excuse to stay inside, but a few of us chose to go out and go to war. Unnecessary war. Fought in a very different way than the wars we were taught about throughout history. What did you do with your time in this place? Because that said everything about you. It's not out of guilt. It just is the truth. It's literally, there's no punishment. It just comes down to, this is who you are. This is the decisions that you made. This is the exact truth about you, and this is what you chose to care about. You lied to your friends when you called them brother, or when you even called them friend and you said, I love you. If that were true when they were going through a crisis, you would have been there. An ongoing crisis. That was serious. I'm not talking about they needed a couple bucks for, like, you know, some food or something like that. I'm talking about they had a real issue and they were... I have not had one person ask me, how can I help you get your everything back? Meaning my kiddo, who also goes by Sweetheart or Sweetie. Because it's a cat. If it was a human child, people would be in an uproar. Because I didn't have sex to conceive a being that I am the caretaker of and the guardian of, that means that doesn't matter the same? Well, let's see what heaven has to say about that then. Let's see what the other side and the beings that are watching everything going on here going, what the hell is wrong with people? They know there's something wrong with people. And there are going to be judgments made, but why would you ever want to see somebody fail? You would be like, postpone it one more day. Just give them one more chance, but eventually that's going to run out. And it really is, you made your bed. You were a liar. Now lie in it. Which is why when you go to a cemetery, you see the headstone that says, here lies. No disrespect to the dead, just simply you lied. Everyone in this place is a liar. Everyone has that in common. Now there's people in recovery for that who have chosen to be honest about that. Realizing that they want to be faithful, yet they cannot. They want to be truthful, yet they cannot. They want to be good, yet they cannot. And then there's those who go even further and say that's no excuse just because I'm human and I have human error written into my DNA. I'm going to keep doing these things that are against that, and for good reason. And I'm going to get as far as I can. And anybody who's talking about something other than this isn't really saying much of anything at all. Because this is a secret to eternity. It's called eternity because we earn it. Why? Because that's the truthful way. Eternity. E.T. Extraterrestrial, which all of us are. This is not our world. This is not where we originated. If you have true experience with the other side, you know that as a damn fact. As a damn fact. You know that you know that you know. It even says it in the Bible. ETs that we are. So we earn it. Eternity. Why? Because to earn it is the truth. To actually be the truth in your actions, not just say a certain thing, to do it, to continuously do it. It becomes who you are. You become what you do, not what you say, not who you believe yourself to be, not who others believe you to be. You become what you do continuously, always. And that's the exact truth about you. Why should it not be? To say otherwise would be a lie. It would be to believe a lie. And that's scary. That's a scary place to be. Not one person offered to help out. And you say you don't owe me anything. Okay, sure. But over the years, I've given a whole heck of a lot, again and again. Free lessons, free teaching, free this, free that. Remember how many days you listened to my videos when you were down and out, and I brought you up? Just hearing my voice and telling you the things that other people wouldn't say to you? The conversations that other people wouldn't have with you that you needed? You don't remember? How many of you told me again and again how much good I was doing in your lives? And then I turned around and I asked for help, not even from me. For those 2 prisoners. That I really saw a real thing that is actually happening, and there's many other atrocities happening. in underground prisons all across the world that you don't know anything about. And all I'm trying to do is raise awareness. And I have people actually criticizing that. That's how freaking gone people are. Criticizing it. Saying that I had somebody literally tell me, and this was the last conversation we had, I got quite pissed and I hung up the phone because that was it. Keep that money that people donated for yourself. Screw them. Forget about the prisoners. What good's that going to do? As in, hey, Derek, you should lie about what you told people. You should keep all that money they donated for yourself. And say the hell with those 2 people sitting in chains. Really? How about no? How about because of that I print even more drawings? And I continue to run DoorDash orders when I have my truck to make even more money to print even more copies until the whole freaking world knows about it. I like that option better. How about I don't be a liar and do exactly what I said I was going to do, which is what I am doing. And I would really, really appreciate it if there was even one kind soul that would give their all to me for a change and just help me get my cat back and be with me. Learn from me, be willing to walk when the time comes, because guess what? As the song says, that everybody will hear once again, you might be homeless sooner than you think. Oh yeah. I thought I had the way, but I was deceived. And it came with a price that my soul can't believe. You might lose everything. And it would be rightfully so. Sometimes that's what it takes to understand what other people are going through. You can't say this to the average person. They are so blind to all truth, they don't want to hear it. If this message doesn't make sense to you, you should not be in the military. You should not be a police officer. You should not be protecting anything or anyone because you don't have the right. And you don't have the heart for it, son. You're an amateur compared to me anyway, but you'll find that out later. You don't know who I work for and work with. You don't know who anyone is. You don't realize how many secret police and secret militaries are scattered all across the world. And sometimes those are very benevolent forces. Not all the time, but a lot of the times you'd be surprised. And they're just looking to see who's actually good, who actually has honor, who actually does what they say they're going to do. And those are the only people that they'll even consider taking on. You have to be a man of your word. There's no exceptions. You have to do what you say you're going to do. Don't believe me? Okay, good. You keep it your way and let me know it in mine. We'll just go with that. I'm not going to tell you you're right because that would be a lie. I can't truthfully say that to you. If you deny this information, I know you don't know the truth. That's the thing. You get to this point where it's like dealing with a bunch of preschool children. You know the actual truth, and you know what truly matters. And you know that they don't know that, yet they claim that they have the truth and that they are right, but you know as a fact that they're not. It's the kid that has the cookie crumbs on his face that ate a bunch of cookies out of the cookie jar. And you're like, did you take a cookie? And he's going, no, no. Hands behind the back. And you know they did. And one day it will be, well, okay, you little shit. It looks like you're grounded for, I don't know, a few hundred years then. That's what it should be for a lot of people. They can't be trusted. It's nothing mean. I'm not saying anything mean. I'm just like, hey, this is what it is. And obviously it makes it okay because today I'm not yelling. Whereas if I was yelling somehow to other people, that would totally change the truth of the message. Not. So I've had more than one person recently ask me, like, how the heck do you stay so calm? The answer to that would be because I know what I'm capable of doing to people if I don't. And what I'm going to do, absolutely, is a last resort if they don't listen. I prefer to do it the nice way. I prefer to do it with kindness, love, honor, and respect, and I prefer to do it without any violence at all, always. All right? And that's what I'm here doing. But eventually there comes a point where you realize no one's listening. And you're going to have to do that horrible thing that you don't want to do. You're going to have to maim somebody really badly, and their face is never going to look the same. And they're not even going to know you did it. Because they're not listening. And that is heartbreaking. You're going to have to burn somebody's life to the ground, unfortunately, because they burned yours and they didn't even give a shit about you at all. And you don't want to do it. You'd give anything to do it the nice way. Literally anything. You're begging them. Don't do this. All of this is being seen by all of heaven's true forces. I'm using the word heaven. Just basically to explain what I mean. All is being seen by all of heaven's forces. Everything is recorded in the exact way that it happened. Who you are is who you are. What I'm going to ask is for people, I don't like to be lied to, okay? I do things in truth, honor, love, and respect. Always, or at least I try to. I strive for that. I really despise being lied to. So unless you're going to actually physically show up in Massachusetts and help me right now, I don't want to be called your friend, please. Could you please stop doing that? Could you please stop with the I love yous? And definitely don't call me brother, please, because you don't understand what that means, and I know you don't. I'm not trying to be rude, ma'am or sir, because it's more than one person. Please don't call me that unless you're going to drop in. You realize, think about this, okay? Do you think heaven, you claim to believe in God if that's you. Do you think heaven gives a shit that you chose your job over somebody that you called brother? Really think about that. Does your corporate evil overlord boss fucking matter at all compared to somebody who's actually your spiritual brother or sister, who has a real issue that they need help with? You wouldn't even quit a crap-paying job or risk quitting to go help somebody that supposedly means everything to you. Now, what do you think is going to happen when you step into, I'll say, the real eternity? We're already in it, by the way. And everyone's looking at you like, what? You shouldn't do it for that reason either, because that would be doing it out of shame and guilt. But really think about your decisions. Do you think it matters? You had money for booze, you had money for cigarettes, you had money for weed, but you didn't have money to donate to two people? Hell, even me, to get my cat, my beloved, back. Are you kidding me? And you claim that you care about me, and that you care about truth, and that you're benevolent? How do you know that the devil of this world, or what others call Satan or the demiurge, isn't constantly giving you that just enough to keep you hanging on amount of money, weekly or bi-weekly, to see what you do with it? Yep, every week they cash in, they got their lottery tickets, they got their booze, they got their weed, they got their cigarettes. How much of that got sent to people in need? Let's see. According to my receipts, none. And that's exactly the truth of it. Hey, nothing personal. It was just business, right? It was a business world. Those are what the numbers said. This is the truth of what you did with your money. You were given a lot while other people had very little. And you chose yourself. You could have got your kids a better life, but you wanted to smoke that money away. That's the real truth. You did not think that, hey, as their guardian, I have a responsibility to do everything in my power to quit smoking, to quit drugging, to quit drinking, to be of sober and agile mind in this present day. Just in case the unexpected ever happened, which it does. And when it does, it's too damn late. Or just, hey, just have enough money to on reserve for them in the event of an emergency. Making sure your kids have their emergency bags packed before yours is packed. That sort of love, which is real love. And if you don't have that kind of love, you shouldn't be a parent. You shouldn't be a guardian. No good guardian is getting wasted, even if it's only on weekends. No good guardian is getting stoned right now. No good guardian is destroying their body, unless it's with exercise and then healing after that, and making sure there is capable as they can possibly be. Or you don't deserve that kid. You don't deserve that animal. And hardly anyone else in this world, if not anybody, is going to tell you that. But guess what? When you get to the other side, you're going to find out that that is the damn truth. Now read them and weep. You just lost everything. Your kid is going to go to somebody who truly deserves them. Your beloved pet or supposed beloved pet, same thing. All will be equaled out. You're going to lose that thing you claim to love because you didn't actually love them. Don't you get it? It is quite literally going to be read them and weep. And that's what that old song meant that I was quoting. And you'll all remember it eventually. It came with a price that my soul can't believe. And one of the other lines, which is a variation, is it came with a price that I couldn't pay. That my heart can't believe. Because it will be that thing that you thought was your everything. But no, it turns out your smokes were more important. Your beer was more important. Your liquor was more important. Your weed was more important. Your online friends were more important. Your chat groups were more important. Your house was more important. Your car was more important. Your friggin' bullshit job that doesn't even qualify as a career or a calling, it was more important. And that's the truth, ma'am or sir. You made your bed, now fucking lie in it. And you'll get a nice headstone that says, here lies so-and-so. Fuck. Because who cared, really? Couldn't protect what they loved, just like just about every other jackass. Jacob have I loved. Think about the meaning of that. Did you really love? Or did you just say it? Feather's a sign you're being looked out for by angels. What I like to do is take those and put them in my pack, even if it's only one at a time when I find them. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Didn't see that before. Because the only question at the end of your life is, did you actually love? Were you that love? And you'll find that if you are, because of how screwed up other people are, no offense to them, it is what it is, you have to be that love every single time. Because if you don't, then nobody else is going to, most likely. You're lucky if you find one person in this life who has a true heart of gold, or at least close to it, who does what they say they're going to do, isn't perfect, but basically does everything that they say they're going to do, is there for you, truly, not just over the phone, doesn't just send you text, oh, love you, there for you. And that's what a true friend is. True friend. That's what I love you means. What you're going to do to them, you're going to do to me, because what happens to them affects me all the same. That is called love. Ladies and gentlemen, no one else is saying this that I'm aware of. And the only reason I'll say that matters is not because of me. Oh, I said it first, or I said it the best. That doesn't matter at all. The thing that matters is that that is a sad, sad state of affairs when nobody hardly is making videos like this, because you know they don't know the truth. You know they're lost. You don't think they are. You know they're lost. And you feel sorry for them. You feel sorry for them. Peace.